else, because you only get 3 customizable profiles right over here, and you wouldn't really be able to customize these 7 other presets. Then if you want to use a local EQ that you have, or if you just wanted to do any EQ at all without using that horrendous app, well, you're still going to need to use the app and make an account plus log in, which kind of defeats the purpose of using any sort of local profiles at all. Now, if you like this sort of honesty, wink wink, and if you didn't want to do any of the things I said just now, good, because this might actually be for you if that's the case. Since if we compare the BTR15 to the 5K, they functionally do the same thing, as they have similar internals and similar principles, where they're both a portable Bluetooth dongle DAC amp that uses the same Qualcomm QCC5100 tier Bluetooth SoC. So in terms of codec options, both will have aptX codec options, LDAC, AAC, and SBC. And then when looking at the actual chip that each device uses, the BTR15 uses a QCC5125 chip, while the 5K uses a QCC5124 chip. Meaning, in terms of real-world uses and applications, hardware between the two pieces are going to be comparable, but software is what's going to make the biggest difference here, where slow, buggy, and borderline rage-worthy experience is what I got when you're playing around with the Fiio Control App. But okay, maybe you just want a seamless experience and you don't really care about the app. Like, you would rather just have everything on the device itself instead of playing the app. So how about the power aspect? Like, what can it power? Well, I'm happy to inform you that both the 5K and the BTR15 uses the same ES9219 series of DACs, plus both outputs 2 volts RMS on high gain with the 3.5mm connection, so this means that both can power headphones like the HD600, albeit without too much headroom for volume, and both can pretty much power all IEMs out in the market, where the biggest difference here and the biggest issue here would be the battery life. Because although the BTR15 does have a slightly bigger battery at 550 milliamps and the 5K only has 500, I only got around 5 hours of continuous use with the BTR15, while I got nearly 14 hours with the 5K, with both being as loud as one another and while using the same IEMs on the same LDAC connection. And speaking about the LDAC connection, I'm getting more connection drops with the BTR15 compared to the 5K despite being in the house, but I generally do not mind this aspect since I always have either one in my pocket while using, well, either one. As for the outputs, this is where the BTR15 beats the 5K, since the BTR15 actually has a more common 4.4mm balanced output, which provides 4 volts RMS max. This is with high gain as well. Now, in terms of the sound between the two, assuming that you don't play around with EQ and do these specific filters that provide weird, unexpected things, they pretty much sound the same, especially when you're out and about during commutes. However, when we compare the physicalities of the two products, the BTR15 looks and feels way more premium. It's a bit longer and a bit thinner, and it comes with a more intuitive selection of buttons to add to the fact that you also get a screen to assist you while operation. Where if you're curious about the durability of the screen, well, you can see that it's actually made of glass, so pretty scratch resistant. Then for the rest of the housing, it's made of an aluminum alloy that's also pretty scratch resistant. Only problem I can see here is if you drop the BTR15, the glass back or front will most likely shatter since
glass is glass and glass breaks.
And as for the microphones that these two have, this is how the BTR15 sounds like.
This is the Fiio BTR15, like this wide and a unit. So inside the this is while walking outdoors with the BTR15. It's not too traffic anymore, but still outdoors. So
while this is how the 5K sounds like.
This is how the microphone sounds like during commutes. While in public transit.
I think the BTR15 wins in this regard as well, since it sounds way more natural, as there's no poor noise cancellation that you can't remove being shoved down your throat. Now, looking into the actual box itself, they include a short Type-C cable with the Type-C to USB 2 dongle, and it includes the acrylic case in the box, so you're pretty much covered in terms of the physical side of things when it comes to the accessories. Now, before I tell you if this is actually worth getting for you, I wanted to thank this month's members right over here. If you like these sorts of videos, videos, consider becoming a subscriber to get more of them. Alright, now we talk about who exactly is the BTR15 made for. Let's put it like this, alright? Do you want something that just works out the box? Like, I don't care about EQ, I just want a screen and I want to make my IEMs wireless. Do you want something that is going to be capable for your Nintendo Switch or your PS5? Then do you also want something that allows for dual device connection, where if you're, say, watching something on your laptop or anywhere else and you get a call on your phone, it just switches over to your phone and you can continue your call? Well, if you answered yes to all of that, then although it does everything that I've mentioned just now, unless Fiio fixes the features that you paid for in terms of the app, plus they fix the ability of the BTR15 to actually answer and hang up calls, which for now, at least in my testing, only works for Facebook Messenger plus cellular calls, and they implemented a proper fix on the EQ weirdness that's going on, I strongly recommend you to look at potential alternatives just like the aforementioned Qudelix 5K or the Hibi W4, since hardware-wise, the BTR15 is actually pretty competitive. It's just really getting held back by whatever ChatGPT code is being used by Fiio on the actual app. Alright, thank you Fiio for allowing me to say whatever I want to say and for sending me the BTR15 for review. My name is Charles and goodbye.